Hello, I am David Riojas González. My student ID is A017200745, and this is the second part of my evidence for the legal English class, where I will be explaining a brief I sent to a client in the United States because they want to know more about how can they invest in Mexico in a specific topic. This being the purchase of land with the intent of later on leasing it in a commercial matter. I used the example of fast food chains because this is basically their business, in which they buy land, build the place where they will be selling food, and then lease it to local people for the administrative subject of said fast food chain. First, I began by explaining the political situation of Mexico, in which it is divided in 32 different states, each of them having local laws. However, on top of those laws, there are the federal laws, in which I gave more priority. Of these, the ones that I think that I should mention in this video are obviously the Mexican Constitution, as well as three laws and three different codes: the Commerce Code, the Civil Code, and the Fiscal Code. The laws that I want to mention are the Customs Law, the Foreign Investment Law, and the Foreign Commerce Law. These are helped by the USMCA Treaty, or TEMEC in Spanish. Although it is a treaty that mainly focuses on imports and exports in North America, it is a treaty that helps us understand international law and as well as how are the relations of commerce between these countries. Something that will help us, especially because we are treating with foreigners investing in Mexico, are the jurisprudencias or jurisprudences that we can see in Mexican law. This will facilitate the way in which we have to manage around these laws in order to make it easier for our clients to invest in the country. Some of the authorities that we will be facing are three in specific: Secretaría de Hacienda, which is the Mexican style of IRS that they have in Mexico, as well as the Foreign Relations Secretary with its subsidiary, the National Migration Institute. We can also mention the Secretary of Commerce or the Secretary of Urban Development, but I believe the latter are not as important as the first one that I mentioned. To finish the brief, I explained to my client that I believe it is more important and easier to constitute a Mexican business, for example, Subway de México SADCB, which will be a subsidiary of Subway Inc. in the United States. Subway de México will be a Mexican business that will be owned in its majority by Subway Inc. in the United States. This will make it easier to invest in Mexico because they will now be a Mexican business. However, it will still be owned by Subway Inc. in the United States. In this brief, I annexed at the last part of said brief some of the jurisprudences that I believe will help us with the tasks of leasing and purchasing land, where we will be asking questions like, when is this lease considered a commercial matter or a civil matter, as well as the purchase of said land. Thank you.